๊biːzɔər is a mass found trapped in the gastrointestinal system, though it can occur in other locations. A pseudobezoar is an indigestible object introduced intentionally into the digestive system. There are several varieties of bezoar, some of which have inorganic constituents and others organic. The term has both a modern and a traditional usage. History: ๊biːzɔərs were sought because they were believed to have the power of a universal antidote against any poison. It was believed that a drinking glass which contained a bezoar would neutralize any poison poured into it. The word bezoar comes from the Persian ๊biːzɔər, which literally means antidote. The Andalusian physician ๊biːzɔər, known in the West as Avenzel, is thought to have made the earliest description of bezoar stones as medicinal items. Extensive reference to it is also to be found in the Picatrix, which may be earlier. In 1575, the surgeon Ambroise Paré copyright described an experiment to test the properties of the bezoar stone. At the time, the bezoar stone was deemed to be able to cure the effects of any poison, but Paré copyright believed this was impossible. It happened that a cook at King's Court was caught stealing fine silver cutlery and was sentenced to death by hanging. The cook agreed to be poisoned instead. Ambroise Paré copyright then used the bezoar stone to no great avail, as the cook died in agony 7 hours later. Paré copyright has proved that the bezoar stone could not cure all poisons as was commonly believed at the time. Modern examinations of the properties of ๊biːzɔərs by Gustav Annius and Andrew A. Benson of the Scripps Institution of Oceanography have shown that they could, when immersed in an arsenic-laced solution, remove the poison. The toxic compounds in arsenic are arsenate and arsenite. Each is acted upon differently, but effectively, by bezoar stones. Arsenate is removed by being exchanged for phosphate in the mineral brushite, a crystalline structure found in the stones. Arsenite is found to bond to sulfur compounds in the protein of degraded hair, which is a key component in ๊biːzɔərs. A famous case in the common law of England announced the rule of caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, if the goods they purchased are not in fact genuine and effective. The case concerned a purchaser who sued for the return of the purchase price of an allegedly fraudulent bezoar. The Merck Manual of Diagnosis and Therapy notes the consumption of unripened persimmons has been identified as causing epidemics of intestinal ๊biːzɔərs, and that up to 90% of ๊biːzɔərs that occur from eating too much of the fruit require surgery for removal. The 2013 review of 3 databases identified 24 publications presenting 46 patients treated with Coca-Cola for ๊biːzɔərs. The cola was administered in doses of 500 ml to up to 3,000 ml over 24 hours, orally or by gastric lavage. A total of 91.3% of patients had complete resolution after treatment with Coca-Cola, 50% after a single treatment, others requiring the cola plus endoscopic removal. Surgical removal was resorted to in 4 patients. Types by content. Food boluses carry the archaic and positive meaning of bezoar, and are composed of loose aggregates of food items such as seeds, fruit pith, or pits, as well as other types of items such as shellac, bubble gum, soil, and concretions of some medications. Lactobzoar is a specific type of food bezoar comprising inspissated milk. It is most commonly seen in premature infants receiving formula foods. Pharmacobzoars are mostly tablets or semi-liquid masses of drugs, normally found following overdose of sustained-release medications. Phytobezoars are composed of indigestible plant material, and are frequently reported in patients with impaired digestion and decreased gastric motility. Diaspirobzoar is type of phytobezoar formed from unripe persimmons. Coca-Cola has been used in the treatment. Trichobezoar is a bezoar formed from hair, an extreme form of hairball. Humans who frequently consume hair sometimes require these to be removed. The Rapunzel syndrome, a very rare and extreme case, may require surgery. Types by location. ๊biːzɔər in the esophagus is common in young children and in horses. In horses, it is known as choke. ๊biːzɔər in the large intestine is known as a fecalith. ๊biːzɔər in the trachea is called a trachobezoar. Production and uses of ๊biːzɔərs. Esophageal ๊biːzɔərs in the nasogastrically fed patients on mechanical ventilation and sedation have been reported to be due to precipitation of certain food types rich in casein, which get precipitated with gastric acid reflux to form esophageal bezoars. Ox bezoars are used in Chinese herbology, where they are called na huang or calculus bovis. These are gallstones, or substitutes, from ox or cattle gallbladder bile. There are artificial calculus bovis used as substitutes. These are manufactured from cholic acid derived from bovine bile. In some products, they claim to remove toxins from the body. In alchemy, animal bezoar is the heart and lungs of the viper, pulverized together. Mineral bezoar is an emetic powder of antimony, correct with nitric acid, and softened by repeated lotions, which were said to carry off the purgative virtue of the antimony, and substitute a diaphoretic one. It promoted sweat like the stone of the same name. See also, Bezodicum, Enterolith, Goroshena, Regurgitalith, snake stones, list of English words of Persian origin, references, notes. Bibliography, Barry Levine. 1999. Principles of Forensic Toxicology. AMA. ASOC. For Clinical Chemistry. ISBN 1-890883-87-5. Mata N. Gil F. J., Blanco Avares J. I., Barrio Arredondo Mount, Ramos Sanchez M.C., Martin Gil J. Jejunal bezoar caused by a piece of apple peel. Europress Med, February 11, 1995. 24, 6, 326. The Poison Sleuths, Arsenic The King of Poisons. Retrieved March 10, 2007. In India. This article incorporates text from a publication now in the public domain, a Chambers, Ephraim, ed. article name needed. Cyclopedia, or an Universal Dictionary of Arts and Sciences. James and John Knapton, Ayala, further reading, Borschberg, Peter, The Euro-Asian Trade in Bezoar Stones, Artistic and Cultural Exchanges Between Europe and Asia, 1400 Euro 1900, Rethinking Markets, Workshops and Collections, ed. Thomas da Costa Kaufman and Michael North, Aldershot, Ashgate, 2010, ppA 29 Euro 43. Borschberg, Peter, The Trade, Forgery and Medicinal Use of Porcupine Bezoars in the Early Modern Period, ed. Carla Alfiers Pinto, Orient, Volume 14, Lisbon, Funder Picavolt Pound O Orient, 2006. External links, Attribution at the National Museum of Health and Medicine, Washington, D.C. Bezoars, Phytobezoars and Diospirobzoars, Attribution from MEDPix, CT images of bezoar from mypax.net.